Greetings to the 12 tribes of Israel. I am Kohen Hamandishe. I'm greeting you from Zimbabwe, from Africa. As I've said that I'm Kohen Hamandishe. I'm one of the elders of the Lemba elders. Of the 12 houses of the Lemba, I'm from the Buba house. I'm the founder of Bnei Aaron Lemba Ministries and also Hope for Children Ministries. Today I've got a video. I'm going to share with you a video which I'm going to talk about the need for the 12 tribes of Israel to go back to the old path. But before I go into that, I want to show you the scenery, Zimbabwe, with the place where we are, how it looks like. I'm going to disturb you a little bit. This is a place called Gutu. It's a mountainous place with a lot of good mountains. I'm on top of a hill, a mountain, which is called Rasa. And down there is a place called Gutu. The weather is fine. It wants to rain, but it hasn't started raining yet. It's a bit chilly. I'm here with my wife who is helping me with the camera. In that road there where the vehicle is the road going to Harare. We're at a place 240 kilometers away from the capital city of Zimbabwe, in Harare. In this place here, we also have some Lemba people, a community of Lemba people who are based in this place. Shalom. As I've already said, my video, I'm targeting my video to the 12 houses of Israel who are scattered across the globe. Now, Romans chapter 1, verse 16 says, I'm not ashamed of the gospel, which is the power of Adonai for salvation, to the Jew first, to the Israelite first, and then to the nations. The gospel has to travel to Israel. The gospel has to travel, the scattered people of Israel. Now, we find that a lot of our people are in diaspora. A lot of our people are in diaspora. They are there. We are here in diaspora because of our forefathers. It's not because of our choice, but because of our fathers. What led our fathers to leave the Holy Land is because of various issues or various things which led them to leave the Holy Land. Some left Israel to go for greener pastures. Some went to other nations to look for greener pastures, to look for foundations of another life. Some went out of Israel, the Holy Land, as traders, as entrepreneurs, as business people, and they never came back. They are in those lands where they went. But at the back of their offsprings, they know that they are from the land of Israel. Some were forced to exit Israel. Some were forced out of the land of Israel. Like my people, the Lemba people, were forced to go out of Israel. Some were also forced through other means, through other issues, like the captivity. Some left Israel because of captivity. And when they went out, when they were captive, some returned back home after the captivity, but others decided to remain behind in those countries where they were, and they stayed there and never returned back. Now, the bottom line of all this is that what caused us to go out, what caused our forefathers to go out, was because of the failure of our forefathers to remain faithfully to the way he prescribed to us through his servant Moshe, through his servant Moses. Now, there are two groups we find in diaspora. The first group is the lost tribe of Israel, and the second group is the hidden tribe of Israel. Now, the lost tribe, it means that on the lost tribe, they lost everything in diaspora. They became too assimilated in their hosts, in their countries of hosts, so much so that they lost their identity, they lost their language, they lost their race, so much so that even now today, they cannot accurately pinpoint which house of Israel they belong to. They cannot accurately pinpoint that I am from the house of Reuben, I am from the house of Gadi, or I'm from the house of Manasseh. They cannot do that because they have been assimilated and they have lost that identity. But there's hope for return back. Because the Torah says that, Adonai says that, I will return you back. So many verses which support that he is going to bring us back to the Holy Land, to the land of which he promised to our forefathers. Now, you see, in their stay in the foreign land, they, instead of living one life, which they were told at Mount Sinai, they are now living two types of lives. One life is the culture life, and the other is the religious life. You find that on a Sunday, they lead a Christian life. And from Monday to Saturday, they lead their culture. Some also on Shabbat, they lead a Torah life. But after Shabbat, they don't lead a Torah life, they lead a culture of the land where they are. Whereas the lives of the Israelites is a combination of the culture and the religion. You cannot separate the life of an Israelite from the culture and the religion. Culture and religion is the same. This is my message today, and this is what I want this is what I want to put across to the people of Israel, that we must return back to the combination of our culture and our religion as one. We want to live a Torah life. We want to live a life which combines culture and religion. Now, you find that Adonai always said he these precious people, when he wanted someone to preserve someone, he preserves it, he hides it, he hides them. Like we'll find that somewhere in the Bible, I think it's in Romans chapter 11, verse 3 and 4. It talks about, I'll read. It talks about the prophet Elijah. He was talking to Adonai on Romans 3, explains that, Adonai, they have killed all your prophets and overthrown your altars, and I am left, and they seek my life. But what does Adonai say? What is his reply to Elijah? He says, but what does the Adonai say to him? I have left for myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to bow. That means I've reserved 7,000 people somewhere for my work, somewhere, who have not bowed to the bow, who have not bowed to the foreign god, to the foreign gods. Now, you also find that Adonai uses Africa as the refugee center for his chosen people, for his chosen individuals. He has them in Africa. Individuals and the groups. I'll explain that. Isaac, Abraham, at one time, you know the story of Abraham, when there was a famine, he went to Africa, he went to Egypt to hide from the famine. Adonai told him to go to Africa and hide. Isaac was also supposed to go to Egypt, but on Genesis 26 verse 2, Adonai tells Isaac, said, don't go to Egypt, stay in the land where you are, and I'm going to bless you there. But you find that his child, his son, Joseph, Jacob, and the entire nation of Israel went to Egypt, went to Africa before they went to the promised land. Their stopover to the promised land was a 400-year period in Africa. We also find that even Yeshua, at one time, before he started his ministry, when he was still a baby, he had to go to Africa. Now, there is a massive discovery of our people, of the Lemba people in the African American community. A lot of our people are there. I don't know how they do it, but somehow, through DNA tests, it has been discovered that most of them are Lembas. And they have also discovered that some of them are from the house of Judah. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they come to that. But we have a lot of our people in Africa. There's this thing which is going on today. There's this awakening which is going on today. Some people are seeing this as a joke of the century. When they see these people now awakening to the reality that they are Israelites, they think that it's a joke of the century. They see it as a fallacy. They see it as an imagination. These people are just imagining things. They see that these people are just parading their ignorance about the Bible. These people are just parading their ignorance. But the thing is, this is the way Adonai works. That which you believe that is nothing is the thing that Adonai wants to use. Somewhere in the Bible, it says that the first will be the last, and the last will be the first. Now, you see that when you are in exile for too long, you tend to lose your Torah. All the Israelites who are out of Israel today, most of them have lost their Torah. They have lost the way of their fathers. They have lost it. But praise be to Hashem. Jeremiah tells us on Jeremiah 6 verse 16 that look for the old paths. Look for the Torah. Look where the old paths, where your fathers used to travel to, and you will find rest in those old paths. Now, this is my message to you, that we have to go back to the old path. We have to go back to the original path. We have to go back to the beginning. We have to go back to Mount Sinai and discover what Adonai told our forefathers. And we start walking in those laws, walking in those precepts, walking in those commandments. Once we do that, once we find ourselves doing all those things, the blessings he promised in Deuteronomy 28 are going to follow us. We have to start doing that now. We have got no choice but to do that. Our relationship with Adonai of Israel is only cemented on us doing his will, on us walking the life which he wants us to walk. He wants us to walk in the Torah life, and we have to do that. This is the only way we can do that. Now, in the next coming few days, I'm going to also to do a short video on how we can start walking back to the old ways, how we can start searching for the old paths, using the Lemba model, how we are doing it, how we did it, how we preserved our culture, how we preserved our Torah for 2,600 years. We still have our Torah. We are still walking that, but it doesn't mean we have got the complete Torah. No, we have lost a lot, and we need to recover that. We are now on the path of recovering what we lost, and we're going to use that model so that we can go back to the original where our forefathers used to walk. I want to thank you so much for listening to me tonight, this afternoon. I want to thank you so much. Let's meet again before the end of the week, or early next week. We're going to have another video. Thank you so much. God, Adonai bless you. Shalom.